Hello everyone, today we're going to be looking at the Summa Logicae, chapters 26 through 29, which I've collectively named On Definition. Okay, first we've got essential definitions. There are two senses of the word essential definition. The first is a complex expression signifying the whole nature of a thing without indicating anything extrinsic to the object defined. The instance that Occam gives of this is man is a substance composed of body and intellective soul. This gives us a full description of man as a substance, that is, and it also only defines man and nothing else. The only kind of creature that has the combination of body and intellective soul is man. Then, in the second sense, it is the composition of genus and difference. This is simply man as the rational animal. You take genus, which is the next most common thing in reality, and you add the difference, which is rational here, which contracts it to the most specific species, and you get man is the rational animal. Now, one thing Occam is clear in noting and is very insistent on is that these do not designate distinct things, but rather designate the same thing in distinct ways. Apparently, there were philosophers that thought that because you could define the same thing in two different ways, that actually meant there were two entirely different objects present in the being, which is incredibly strange. Next, we have on description. A description is a complex expression composed of accidents and properties. So you'll remember accidents and properties are both predicated in quale, which is to say they aren't part of the nature of the thing, but they're things that might be proper to the nature of a thing, like risibility. That's the capability to laugh. So there are a couple different descriptions we have here. The first one is from John of Damascus. Man is a risible thing that walks erect with broad nails. The second one is from Occam, which is man is a biped having two hands. And the third one is the definition of man from Plato, which says that man is a biped without feathers. All of these describe man. All of these are accidents of man. And all of them will tell you something about him, but none of them are essential definitions because none of them tell you the kind of thing he is. They're more like things which come along with the kind of thing he is. Okay, and then there's a descriptive definition. This is a description which uses so many accidents that the kind of object has the exact same extension as the thing defined. So man is the risible biped would be an example of this. Now, what I mean by this is the number of objects is exactly the same between the essence and the series of accidents chosen. All men and only men are picked out by man is the risible biped, or man is, well, maybe not always, but very often it's true that man is the biped without feathers. This will pick out all of the men in reality and nothing else. And this is because you've chosen the correct set of accidents to tell you about just the men and not about the birds or the other animals. Then we have the relationship of definition and the thing defined. This is the relationship between definition and definitum. The definition is just the way we express the nature of a thing, and then the definitum is the thing which is being defined. So there are two senses this can be taken in. The first is defining singulars as the referent of the definition, where you learn about individuals through the definition that you're giving. So the definition, man is the rational animal, talks about all men who are rational animals. And in that way, it defines them as singular things. And then in another sense, it defines the species and the genus, which aren't the singular things. These are common to all of them. So in the first sense, it is a first intension where it defines an object, and then in the second sense, it is a second intentional idea which defines our idea of a thing rather than the thing itself. I hope you learned something.